Pressure and atmospheric movement. Understanding atmospheric pressure at the Earth's surface is one of the keys to understanding weather. Air pressure is the result of the weight of a column of air pushing down on an area. The closer you are to sea level, the more air pressure you experience. All the molecules from the entire atmosphere are pushing down upon you, so the air around you is denser and you experience higher pressure. However, if you go up to the top of a mountain, the air pressure decreases. The density of the air around you is less and you experience lower pressure because there are fewer air molecules above you applying their force. When you look at a weather map and see highs and lows, this means there are regions of air that have higher and lower pressure. A blue H represents areas of high pressure, while a red L represents areas of low pressure. Air of similar pressure, temperature, and humidity are called air masses. High and low pressure air masses are important because they affect the weather. Meteorologists don't have any particular number that divides high from low pressure. It's the relative difference that counts. But meteorologists do measure the pressure with an instrument called a barometer. As the name says, a high is an area where the air's pressure is higher, often because it is cooler and has a higher density air than the pressure of the surrounding air. Since this air is denser, it sinks towards Earth's surface. High pressure is generally associated with fair and dry weather. We call areas of high pressure anticyclones, and these air masses spin clockwise as the cooler air they contain sinks toward Earth. When air is heated, it expands, takes up more space, and becomes less dense. As a result, the air rises and exerts less pressure on the area beneath it. This creates an area of low pressure at the Earth's surface. Low pressure is associated with bad weather and usually indicates precipitation is on the way. We call areas of low pressure cyclones. These air masses spin counterclockwise as the warm air moves upwards. If a cyclone forms over the Atlantic Ocean during the summer months in the northern hemisphere because the ocean's waters are warm enough, it can form a strong rotating storm we call a hurricane. The density and therefore pressure of air masses depends a lot on temperature. The source of heat and the driving force behind all air movement is the sun. Since the sun heats parts of the earth more than others, parts of the earth get hotter than others. The air above the earth changes temperature as the heat from the land or water is transferred to the air above it by the process of conduction. This uneven heating of Earth's surface is responsible for creating differences in the temperature and density of air masses. This creates pressure differences in the air, causing areas of high and low pressure to form. Air always moves from areas of high pressure towards areas of low pressure. We refer to the flow of air as wind. The larger the difference in pressure between high and low areas, the faster the wind blows. If Earth had the same air pressure in every area, there would be no wind. Some important things to note from the reading: the definition of air pressure, the difference between high and low. Things to know about high air pressure. High air pressure is sinking air because it is more dense. It is cooler air. It tends to result in what we call happy weather. We say it's happy because it's those days you like to be outside where it's nice and clear and dry. Just overall good weather. Low pressure, on the other hand, is going to be the opposite. It tends to rise away. When it pulls away, it makes it very cloudy. More moisture develops. It's less dense air. It results in some form of precipitation or clouds or fog taking place. This is what we call the lousy weather. You don't want to be outside in this, kind of what we've had the past few days. Now, this last paragraph talks about the uneven heating of the earth. Remember, the source of our energy is the sun. That's important to note because we call that the fuel for the weather. The differences in air pressure is what results in the movement of air. Air always moves in one direction. It's going to go from where the high pressure is towards the low pressure. It wants to share, it wants to give off some of its extra pressure, let's say. That movement from high to low is what we refer to as wind.